get there that way.
And it's gonna be fun too. It's just okay. Yeah, it's fun.
Meeting of Elizabeth Township Board of Commissioners, Monday, May 2nd, 2016. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Staff, for a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call.
Commissioner Simula?
Here.
Commissioner Saxon?
Here.
Commissioner Kuzma?
Here.
Commissioner Buckowitz? Here. Commissioner Blake?
Here.
Commissioner Evans?
Here.
President Robert?
Here.
All present.
There was an executive session to discuss pending litigation involving DEP.
So we have a presentation tonight. I see Al Pascarelli here, so Al, we could go off House for Waste Management. We'll talk about the hazardous waste program.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Al Pascarelli. I'm the municipal coordinator or representative for Waste Management. I basically deal with the municipalities that we currently service. I act as our primary point of contact. I was asked a couple weeks ago to come in and speak about a new program that we have at Waste Management. That we sort of started a couple years ago when Governor Randall passed the new law.
We have a list to sign up.
We went to Pennsylvania DEP. We worked very closely with them in constructing a program that would enable residents to continue to dispose of electronics, not only electronics but household hazardous waste items. So basically, we rolled this program out to a couple of municipalities, and now we have over 65 municipalities that are currently participating in the program. And it's a great program. As anyone that's following the news, more and more outfits are not accepting televisions anymore. It's very they're very difficult to dispose of. So just basically, I just wanted to go over how our program works. If Elizabeth Township would adopt this program, the way it would work is if I'm a resident living in the township, all I would have to do and let me back up. Prior to rolling out the program, we would take the time and educate the residents. We would send out, mail out brochures to everyone. We would provide the township with a brochure that could be posted on your website. We could give you guys some posters to post in the township building here. And on top of that, with other communities, we've been participating in their Earth Day celebrations or community event days to continue promoting the program. And the way the program would work is if I lived in Elizabeth Township, I would call a 1-800 number. I have a list of all the materials that are acceptable and not acceptable. But basically, phone 1-800, let the customer service rep know all the components that I have to get rid of. It might be televisions, computer monitors, radios, fax machines, and like household hazardous waste like garden chemicals, cleaners, stuff like that, car parts, batteries. Just to go over a couple of things, it's garden chemicals, swimming pool chemicals, automotive material, mercury-containing devices like fluorescent tubes. Those are not to go in the landfill. It's too long to go over this list, but basically describe the contents. The customer service rep will schedule a pickup right from the person's house about 2 weeks after their call. Because the way we do it, we dispatch a truck. It's not a trash or recycling truck. It's a DEP approved box truck that Waste Management has that will come into the community and pick up from the people that have called in. Everyone that calls in for service, and it's unlimited service. It's not once a month or twice a year. It's many times as the need is. But basically, everybody that calls in will get a packet sent to them in the mail. And this is designed by the DEP, so we had to follow their instruction. This packet contains, I'm not gonna undo everything in here, but it's basically a pretty big, I call it a Ziploc bag. It's not. It's like a 40-pound bag that the resident will be instructed to put the smaller components in the bag, like a bag of batteries, some fluorescent tubes, bulbs, stuff like that. The bigger components, such as TVs and computer monitors, they'll be asked to place on the side of the bag. And on the day of service, they would need to know where to start, because it can't be placed at the curb. We need to go, to your front porch, your back porch, down by the driveway, down by your garage, somewhere on your property. You have to place this bag with the TVs. Our technician will show up on that day, pick up from your house and about maybe 25 other homes. That's the target. About 25 to 30 homes we pick up from. And in here, there are instructions. Like I said, it's unlimited service, but we can't show up to one house and there's 30 TVs there. So there's like some guidelines as to what you could put out every time you call. It's basically like a TV, a computer monitor, a couple big items, and then in the bag of the smaller components. Like I said, it's unlimited service, so they can keep calling. Basically, our technician shows up, places the components on the truck, and takes it back to our facility in McKees Rock. McKees Rock is where everything is palletized, everything's broken down. 90% of the 65 municipalities that we're currently servicing, we've found in the last couple of years that 90% of these materials are recyclable. Just like the fluorescent tubes right above us. The glass is recyclable, the aluminum end caps are recyclable, so everything gets stripped down. We capture those numbers and report back to the township or boroughs and so forth. So this way you could, it benefits the municipalities because you could include those numbers with your state reporting, total recycling numbers, tonnages. Any questions so far?
Cost now.
The cost is $1.05 per unit per month. I put together a proposal for you. That's what we've been charging for about the last 2 years. $1.05 per unit per month. Yes, I sent it to Lauren. I emailed you, Lauren. I have a couple extras that I could pass out, but yeah, I have a list of everything that's acceptable. It should be in your packet.
this onto the agenda. We'll do two things. First, we'll discuss it with the commissioners, see if there's any discussion with the commissioners. Then if we do add it on the agenda, we'll ask any resident who wants to come up and comment on that, to sign up on the agenda, since it is an add-on to the agenda if you decide to do that. So, we'll start out with Chris. Chris, do you have any questions, concerns?
No, I don't have any questions. I did go on a phone call. My residents asked me to come to the
Yeah,
I think it's just a good thing.
it's a perfect solution, it really is.
Jane?
Your microphones aren't working.
Yeah.
Good?
Did you hear me?
Could hear you.
Julie? Well, I think.
How often would they use it? That's my only concern. And I don't see, we have a lot of seniors that live on limited income. I would think the department,
Well, and since we're discussing it, I mean, I think what I would like to propose is that we try it for 6 months through the township actually pays the first 6 months, because it comes out $1.05 a resident. We have about 6,500 residents, so it'll cost, the proposal's a little bit more than $6,500 a month that it would cost us. And we try it maybe from July 1st to December 31st. And we do have, our contract with Waste Management ends December 31st, but we do have 2 option years. And I know we are going to sit down and I'm quite certain that this may be something we may be able to negotiate into the option years, so it won't be a cost to our residents. So it's kind of our hope that we can kind of work something out on that end. So my hope is the residents that are in the paying for this and, you know, give them something back for their tax dollar. And, you know, we did save some money. Yeah, and I think that would be the goal is, you know, to at least give it a try. I know there's a lot of people that have the TVs, they don't know if Best Buy stopped taking them, and it really, it's the bulbs, things like that, and they end up on the side of the road cranes are picking them up, and it just, it becomes one mess after another. So I do think that if we could at least try it, you know, not commit something to our residents and kind of go from there, but I think it's something if we can try that. Andrew? What's your
I don't know for all of them, I think it's okay. Now, there are people in my ward when I went to one off and like, I would put off in houses where if I push the one wall, the whole house will fall down. Like, so I hate raising rates and I hate doing that, but, if the taxpayers report, then I have to go ahead and report.
Oh, that's what I said. If we could try this where we actually don't burden the taxpayers with another $1.05 for the first 6 months, and we pay it through the township, then we could work with Waste Management to see if we can kind of negotiate into the option years, and kind of maybe we'll work it out so that we can kind of get it from the tax, you know, off the taxpayers back, and the service the township can provide. Well,
I'm all for it. I would like to try 6 months.
yeah.
They get our costs, I think that would be a great idea. I get calls constantly, and you're gonna force me to clean out my garage.
Basically, when we deploy this program, that's the first thing people do. They clean out their garages, their basements, their attics, all the stuff that they, yeah.
Fluids, and
Yeah.
not just, I mean, the
Yes.
lights, the fluids.
Yes.
Every time you turn around.
It's
there's
paint
something-
cans, empty tank cans, yeah.
There's something else that you cannot put in the
Right.
garbage, so I think it's a great program.
I like the idea of trying it for 6 months, this way we're not burdening people and nothing helping those.
Well, the way the motion, it will read, motion to adopt approval for waste management program for hazardous waste program to begin July 1st, 2016 at a cost of $1.05 per resident through December 31st, 2016 to be paid by Elizabeth Township. And if there's any residents that have, since we added that to the agenda, whenever we have the agenda items, if anybody would like to have a question or comment or speak about it, they come up and sign, because we're gonna try to run a meeting a little bit different, where we're not gonna take questions from the audience, we'd like you to sign up and address us, that way we can reflect in the minutes who's talking, who's addressing the board at that time. So Al, I'd like to thank you this time, and I think we're gonna add this to the agenda, and we'll go from there, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Okay, before we go on to the department reports, we do have a couple things. We're gonna discuss the consent order because we're gonna have that on. But before I do that, I wanna show you, I don't know if everybody has taken a look at the banners going down Rock Run for our veterans. And, I know they're still putting them up and they pretty much got Rock Run covered on both sides with the veterans that are there. And we have a couple of our employees that are veterans that we would like to recognize. I don't think any of them are here tonight, but just like to, have a public recognition of our employees that we have that are veterans. And, we do have a plaque for them and their families. We made one for each of them that we have out in our lobby. It's right above the front desk whenever you go into the right above there. We have 4 employees that are veterans. But also, I would like to just take a brief moment to recognize them and their service and just mention who our veterans are and present them, they're not here to get the plaques presented to them, but I would like to just take a brief moment to recognize them. Our first employee is Officer Kyle Deppen. He's a senior airman deployed in Iraq with the United States Air Force. I'd like to thank Kyle for his service and recognize Kyle for that and have his plaque for Kyle. Next veteran is Corporal Ron McCosey. He was in Peru and Grenada, and he was with the United States Marines. So I'd like to thank Ron for his service. Next veteran is Corporal Jonathan Patterson. He was involved in the War of Terror, the United States Marine Corps. I'd like to thank Jonathan for his service. And last but not least, Officer Paul Hawthorne. He was in the Gulf War. He was with the United States Army. And we'd like to thank Paul for his service also.
Okay, I'll speak loudly because I don't think my mic's working, so hopefully everybody can hear me in the back. We have received a proposed consent order and agreement with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection dealing with the Act 537 and the subsequent amended Act 537s, which will ultimately shift the flow to McKeesport. The consent agreement does outline a lot of basic facts about what happened as far as the prior plans, and also implements a new plan going forward and timelines that the engineers will need to address in order to get that flow. It does not bind us to the actual route going to McKeesport, but it will bind us to actually getting the flow there. Brian and I have both worked closely with DEP. I won't speak for Brian, but I believe he's okay with the deadlines that have been put into place. We've actually gone through a couple of revisions and have a revision which we believe would be acceptable, and we would be able to get that flow there under these guidelines.
Yeah, everything Matt said is accurate. We have reviewed it. DEP made some revisions to accommodate the timelines that we felt were fair to complete this work. We will have to revise the Act 537, and then we'll go through the design and construction process to eliminate the Buena Vista plant and send all flow to McKeesport. I think the one thing that I will point out that's part of the consent order that most of the public would be interested in, immediate upon the township's signing of this consent order and DEP's execution of it in the subsequent days, they will be releasing some tabs for the township, and it's actually 46 tabs. It's based on a list that was already generated from need